Ever feel like you're shouting into the void? You're scrolling through endless posts, your phone is buzzing, the world is loud, and you're just trying to hear something, anything that actually matters. You ask a big question, maybe late at night when it's quiet. Are you there? Do you still speak? The answer is yes, but probably not how you think. Let's go back a few thousand years. Meet Elijah, a prophet who's just seen fire rain down from the sky in a massive victory. He should be celebrating, right? But instead, he's running. Not from a physical enemy, but from burnout, from crushing anxiety. He's hiding in a cave, completely spent, feeling utterly alone and whispering to God, "I've had enough. Just let me be done." He's hit rock bottom, that deep, hollow feeling when you've given everything and it still feels like you've failed. Then God gives him a simple instruction: go out and stand on the mountains, or Elijah goes. And as he's standing there, a hurricane force wind rips through the mountains, shattering rocks. It's terrifying, raw power. But the Bible says God was not in the wind. After the wind, the ground starts to shake. A massive earthquake, the kind that splits the earth open. Pure chaos. But God was not in the earthquake. Then, after the earthquake, fire, a raging inferno, consuming everything in its path. You can imagine the heat, the roar. But God was not in the fire. Then, silence. Everything stops. And in that silence, there was a sound. The original Hebrew psalter called the Dmama Dakavshishens, or as it's often translated, a gentle whisper. It wasn't a shout, it wasn't a spectacle. It was quiet, still, almost nothing. And that was God. Not a command, but a connection. In that profound quiet, Elijah wasn't just given a new to-do list, he was seen. He was understood. The whisper met him in his exhaustion and didn't demand more from him. It simply reminded him he wasn't alone. It was the breath of life after he thought it was all over. So, does God still speak today? We're always looking for the earthquake, the fire, the big, dramatic sign. But the story of Elijah tells us to look somewhere else. It tells us that maybe God speaks in the moments we're most likely to miss. In the quiet of the early morning. In the kindness of a stranger. In set sudden explainabelsville in the middle of a crisis. It's not always loud. In fact, it's usually not. It's a whisper. And you can only hear a whisper if you're listening. If you're willing to tune out the noise and wait. The voice is still there. We just have to get quiet enough to hear it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share.